Hello, what's up? I'm Lady Calamere. This is my 205th video. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get this out to you today because I traveled all the way from Georgia. Just got home tonight, so I'm going to push this out to you guys, okay? So my presentation will be on the Greek god Hermes. And you notice how I said Hermes? Because the H in Greece is not pronounced. Here, like everyone else, they like to say Hermes, but it's really Hermes. Now, in most stories, he is definitely the son of Zeus, aka Zeus, and Maya. So he, as his popularity grows, so does his duties and what he's worshipped for. He has many names. Very popular god. He's the inspiration for DC's The Flash and Marvel's Quicksilver. Of course, The Flash is more popular. They even do a movie with Quicksilver, and so yeah. Now, in many of the stories, a very famous god is his son, and that would be Pan, aka Pan. He has different children. Another famous child is the Hermaphrodite, which is Hermaphrodite, the son of Hermes and Aphrodite. We call it's Aphrodite and Aphrodite in Greece. So he becomes the god of the people. He is a very human-like god. His day is Wednesday. His planetary sphere is Mercury. Secondary sphere, and a lot of people don't look at this, is for solar. So his element is air. He deals with the mind and thought. His Roman counterpart is the god Mercury. Not just the planet, but also the god. So here we have his card, Hermes. And it says communication. Beautiful oracle from this really nice, cool deck, Gods and Titans by Stacey DeMarco and Jimmy Manton. You can get it on Amazon, so check that out. His other name is Psychopompus because he guides the dead to the underworld. He delivers messages from people to the gods, from the gods to people. He will deliver messages from the gods to the upper world to the celestial gods and Olympus to the underworld. He will deliver messages from the underworld to the gods and from the underworld to people. So he's a guider and conductor of souls. So the number that has been associated with him is 4. And things that have been associated with this god and or roads, including crossroads. Hermes later on, his functions get assigned to archangels Michael and and later on Raphael, some of his associations. And he is also known as a divine child. So sometimes his images will be that of Yeshua as the holy child of Atosha. Jesus, Yeshua. He's a very fast moving God. He is known for his lightning fast speed. Some people forget that he deals with gymnasiums, and in ancient times it was pretty much standard, if not protocol, to have an image of him or a statue of him in gymnasiums. He was also a very good boxer. He's also very good at cunning in war. And there was a story about him for the attentions of a beautiful nymph. He got into a boxing match with Ares, aka Ares, and he wins against Ares. There was once a story where a city was in danger and it was being invaded, and he led people out of the gymnasium to defeat the invading people and win with basically just the things they were using in the gym and nothing else. So his trees, or the strawberry tree and the palm tree, the flower that has been associated with him is the crocus. His animals that he deals with are the hare, the ram. He's a god who's associated with goats, bovines, and sheep. As well, he's been associated with the snake, the dog, and the tortoise. Now, a herm is a pile of stone, a cairn of stones, and usually his herms could have just were a pile of stones with his head, image of his head, as well as a phallus. But a pile of stones will do just fine if you do not have an image of him. So you can pile stones, just regular stones, or you can make it as nice as you want. Now, people who have invoked him or felt his presence, believe it or not, had the scent of frankincense and myrrh. So people have also burned that for him. But even people who didn't have this around them have smelled that. Frankincense and myrrh. But there's a flower that's also associated with the planet Mercury, which is lavender. But you can also burn anything that's related to the planet Mercury. Mastic. Now, Hermes also, here's the thing that people make a mistake. Yes, he is a god of thievery and robbery. He is a patron of thieves. However, we're not talking about muggers and looters. No, 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 no. He's not into the violent thievery. He is into stealing, like pickpockets, shoplifters, and thieving that takes wit, charisma, and grace. So he's also a god of liars. We're talking about people who lie. He's sharp with that. In fact, he lied when he was just a day old. In fact, he stole Apollonis's cattle. Some say it was Helios's, but later stories say Apollonis's cattle, and then lied about it. In which later they that day they became good friends. He has different epithets, so many epithets. He's the guide of souls, the conductor of souls, which is psychopompus. He's a psychopomp. He is the giver of good sleep. Yes, but also he can also take away sleep. But he's also the giver of good sleep. He's a bestower of bestower of good gifts. Lord of dice, Lord of oracles, Lord of games, Hermes of the cloak of the night. He's called the divine messenger, guide of heroes, the multiplier. That means he can multiply what you have. The giver of omens, the giver of signs, the protector, the guide of people. He is the herald, actually, as well as the exalted herald, the gracious one, the great one. He who gives light to the mind, the quick one, the divine shepherd, Lord of the radiant staff, the encourager, the sapient one, giver of gifts. So we see those names, and dealing that he deals with prophecy and the messenger of the gods and goddesses, the herald of Zeus himself, Zeus, aka Zeus himself. He is a god of oracles, divination, fortune telling. So you can use him for communicating with the dead, literally with the Ouija board. He's a god of scrying with the mirror or crystal. He deals with cloud divination. He deals with tarot, oracle cards, pendulum, palmistry. He deals with the mind, and that also deals with ESP, He's a god of commerce. His staff, also Caduceus, became a staff of commerce and of trade. He's a god of the businessman and woman. He's the god of the marketplace. He's a god of dealing with life. And when we think about this, he was also, I think it was called Hermea, when you find a treasure, you were supposed to, if you found it, you're supposed to like share it. So we see he's a god of treasure and finding money. Now, interesting enough about how money has become, it's become electronics. And later on, we know that this guy takes over things of electronics. Your smartwatch, your television, your smart TV, your computer. He deals with all that. Now, what I'm getting at, he's a god of trade, right, and commerce. So he's god of money. And we see that money comes and goes, quickly changes hand from one hand to another. And now different forms. We saw that money was in metal forms and coins, and then in paper and check form, writing out whatever you want, whatever you can afford. He is the god of lottery. Now, how we see money is also electronic, like Bitcoin and Core. So money can be transferred with an app, with just a few strokes of a key. You could transfer a penny to even millions of dollars in just one stroke. You can Zelle someone. You can do all this. So we see that Mercury, because a lot of people associate money with Jupiter and the sun, but also try using Mercury on a Wednesday. They'll say, oh no, do money on a Thursday or the sun. But listen to what I'm saying. He deals with this. The planet Mercury and the god Mercury and the god Hermes deals with this. He deals with trade. He deals with the stock market. He also deals with thieves. Meaning someone can wipe out your bank account at the blink of an eye. So we see how he can do that. So so his attributes, let's get into that. Well, I'll get into that in a minute. But I really wanted to explain it. So his attributes are the staff, the petasos, which is a wide rim traveling hat. Almost looks like Odin's hat, but his has wings. He has sandals with wings, the winged sandals. He also deals the Hermes pillar. The herald staff, that's what I was thinking about. The palm branch, especially in Rome. Where Athena gives the olive tree, she gives the gifts of the olive tree. He's the one that teaches how to cultivate that olive tree. He taught people how to use it, how to process the fruit, and how to process the oil. He's the god of the music scale, the alphabet, measures, fractions, mathematics. He's the god of craft. He is the inventor of the lyre, which he gives to Apollos. He's the god of weights, measurements, the god of boxing, the god of gymnastics, the god of the music scale. He's a god of inventions. When the Greeks go to Egypt, they said that the god Tahuti is actually their god, Hermes. So he's been associated with Tahuti. He's associated with death, with birth, with sex. He's also a god of prophetic dreaming. He also is a god that provides relief from bad dreams and nightmares. He is a god for business success. Now, also, he's a god of the word, the spoken word, as well as the gift of gab. He is a god of loosening and bindings. So he can loosen one's tongue or bind it. God of gossip, that's what I was looking for. But he's also a god of binding people and unbinding, so feathering and unfeathering. He's a god of shepherds and flocks. He's a lord of thieves, of stealing. Again, non-violent and crafty. Being a god of sticky fingers, pickpocketing. Even breaking into someone's home. We're not talking about violent looting and burning, but ways of breaking into someone, especially very crafty. Picking locks would be his trade. He's a god of gambling. So the lottery, scratch-off lottery, playing the lottery, the god of gambling. Think of Las Vegas, or Atlantic City, or big gambling boats. He's a lord of traveling. So if you want safe travels, or even a quick travel, he could help you catch that bus, drive a car. He's the god of schedules, so scheduling of the trains, the buses. God of communication. Like I said, gossiping, talking, communicating, whether through email, direct messaging, Facebook, social media, picking up the telephone, or communicating one-on-one, even sign language, braille, secret codes, all of it, his. Now, before he even becomes a herald, he was actually a very rustic god. He was very virile too. Like I said, on the Hermes would not only be his head, but also his phallus, his penis. He also, one of his attributes, I forgot, is a short sword. Not a long sword, but he's also shown to hold a short sword. His herald's wand and the herald's wand head, which later on, I believe in the Hellenic period, was at the snakes were added. But it was originally, now it's being taken over, but it was given to the medical field, where you see the caduceus on the ambulance and the caduceus. But I think that may have been a miscommunication, or making money through medical field, but now it has been associated with medicine. And the caduceus is even seen spiritual as the nadis and the energy field of the kundalini. So, as being approachable, yes, he is approachable. But remember, he believes in tricks. He's a god of trickery. So, in fact, one of his another famous child actually appeared in Xena, Warrior Princess, as well as Heracles, the legendary journey continues, was Autolycus. That's how they pronounced it, Autolycus, which was played by the character. Oh, what's his name? Bruce Campbell. Of course, you know him from Evil Dead, Army of Darkness. Ash versus Evil Dead. Which is actually Autolycos. Autolycos is a better pronunciation, which means the wolf itself. And this guy, as they say in Xena, he was a king of thieves, king of he knew how to pick locks, he knew how to get out of binds, he knew how to lie, cheat, steal. The wolf itself. And an animal, bring it back, let's bring it back to his other animal, was a wolf. Hermes dealt with the wolf. For when he was born in a cave, and he had the desire for meat. So he went and stole the god's cattle, Polono's cattle, and he puts his sandal on backwards, and he makes the herd walk backwards, so that it wouldn't be as easy to track. And he decided to slaughter some, cook some, and eat some, and sacrifice to the gods, which said he was an inventor of sacrificing to the gods. And, there's this, later on, Apollonos was angry and went to Zeus and demanded his cattle back. He said, "You stole my cattle." Hermes said, "No, I didn't." There we go and lied, but Zeus wasn't buying it. So some of the cattle were sacrificed and some of them were eaten. And even after he stole the cattle, he also found a tortoise, and he killed it, And he's being a little bad boy, and he made a lyre out of the tortoise shell. And Zeus was amused by his antics. And he gave the music, that lyre, to Apollonos. So Apollo was like, Apollyon was like impressed by the music. And he allowed him to keep it. And he also gave him a staff. And in some stories, even gave him the power of prophecy for it. So, but another story said he didn't give him the power of prophecies. He would have to go to these women and get it from them. But also it gave him, the power of dealing with dice. Now, he was also, another thing that Hermes does, he was asked by his father to free his lover, his paramour, Io, from Hera. Because Hera, realized that he was having sex with Io. To protect Io from the wrath of Hera, Zeus changed her to a cow, a beautiful cow. And said, "Oh, my queen, my wife, this is a gift for you." Hera wasn't buying it. So she had a fly constantly bite her, and she had a 100-eyed giant named Argos Panoptes, who guarded her. Now the story, there's one story where he bores him to death and kills him, but actually the more correct one is he actually fights him and kills him. So he later becomes the Slayer of Argos. That's another name that he gets. It's the Slayer of Argos. Panopteos, I believe it's called, where he gets that name, the Slayer of Argos. So he has a son, Pan, by the nymph Penelope. Now, some say Pan has different parentages. A lot of them say he is the son of Hermes. There are a few that says he's not. And which, if you want to know more about some of these gods like Hera, Aphrodite, Pan, Apollonos, I've done presentations on them, so check my channel out. So he gets along really good with Apollonos, with Dionysius, and Pan, regardless whether it's his son or not. He gets along, of course, with Zeus. He is the one that leads Persephone out of the underworld when it's time to come to his mother, Demeter. Demeter, as we call her, but Demeter. Another thing is he of great skill and he of dexterity. Even in a Homeric hymn, he's a god of stealing with grace, dexterity, certain skill. He's also a god of perjury and fraud. He's a god of fraud and perjury. He knows how to make a white lie, how to twist words, how to put words in people's mouth. So some say not only do you need Hermes on, well, not say, you need a Hermes on the occult path, but be careful because he knows how to twist things. And he is a god of magic and the occult. He is the god of astrology as well as astronomy. Astronomy as well as astrology. He's not only that he invented the lyre, but also this, also some say the syrinx. Some. But he's also a god of sagacity and shrewdness. He is said also to have invented the alphabet. So we got numbers and alphabet under his wings. And yes, he does also, another thing that's associated with him is wings. Whether it's a wing of the bird or wings of a plane. And he's god of all forms of traveling, whether it's a car, a bicycle, skates, a scooter, motorcycle, plane, rocket ship, unidentified flying objects, UAPs and UFOs. He's the god of travelers. He also likes the hero. He's a god of books, scrolls, contracts, poems, novels. Even, anyone remember phone books? But he's also the god of the written word on the internet. Everything from lies to truth. Wikipedia. Everything you can find on Google. He's the god of internet. He's the god of the whole internet. He deals with the whole thing. So as modernization happens, he becomes more and more and more. He deals with from the basic math to calculus. He deals with knowledge and wisdom and memory. He deals with communicating from without and from within, to even communicating for all parts of yourself. Mortals and heroes, whether the heroes are gods or the heroes were men, really enjoyed his favor. He's the one, Hermes is the one that conducted Priam to Achilles to get the body of Hector. It was said that he was the one who bound Prometheus, with the orders of Zeus, bound Prometheus to the mountain, the Caucasus mountain. He's the one that brought Aphrodite, Athena, and Hera to Paris. He's the one who rescued his good friend Dionysius after his birth from the flames. After Hera burned up, tricked his mother into asking Zeus for his true form, in which she burned up to a crisp, and he was the one to rescue him. He's the one that sold Heracles to Omphale. Hercules. The Hercules, yes. To Omphale. He was the one to do so many things. He is a god of deceivers and trickers. He does enjoy the good trick, the good joke, the joke stores, the prank stores, prank calls, jokes, and fart bombs, and fake puke, fake dog do. To also tricks like, putting dog shit in a bag, paper bag, and ringing someone's doorbell, and lighting it on fire so they can stomp it out. But now we have cameras at every door. But back in the 70s and 80s, that was good fun. Just get some dog shit, scoop it in a paper bag, put it by someone's door, light it on fire, ding dong, and then you can watch as they stomp it out and get dog shit all over them. He could be from the lighthearted trick to the mean trick. He's the god of clowns and comedians. And yeah, there are times he gets mean. He does sometimes. He does have his temper. And believe it or not, he does deal with those. But he's also he's got a swindles. A swindler. Now, not only he is a herald and messenger of the gods, but he's also a cupbearer. He also serves as a charioteer. He drives a chariot. So you can even look at the tarot card, the chariot. And he deals with that. He also deals with the magician. So if you look at the Crowley card, the tarot, he has the magician, the magus, the mage. So yes, he deals with types of magic, witchcraft, from root work to all the way to ceremonial magic. As Zeus sends the dreams, and Hermes conducts them to humans. So Zeus sends the dream, and Hermes brings them to humans. He is the god of necromancy, as he's Necropomptos. He's Necropomptos. He's the god of working with the shades, the dead. He is the necromancer. Now, this is a good time to really start honoring him, because after, the honoring of the ancestors and the dead, to conclude the rituals, Hermes was prayed to. He had his rituals. So after the time of honoring the dead, to close it out, it was rituals and prayers and sacrifices were done to Hermes. So he's a good time for this year of Halloween and Samhain, the Day of the Dead. Sorry. Stop it, guys. Loki, don't be mean to Miss Kitty. Come on, Loki, Lokadopes. Play with your toys. Come on. Let's play. Let's be nice instead of mean. It's not fun to be mean.
Yes, it is fun. I like to be mean.
So, he is the God who can remove obstacles. Or cause them. So, he can be used to curse people and to remove curses. Yes, Hermes can be used to curse people, really fuck them up. But he is the god of doorways. He's the god of the thresholds. He's the liminal god. He's between the worlds. You know the circle between the worlds we stand? He is that boundary. He's the god of boundaries, thresholds. He's the god of doorways and windows. So between inner and outer, so anywhere between one room from another, doorways, whether there's a door or not, there is Hermes. He also deals with portals. He can go from one world to another, from another to another in an instant. He can travel. He's the god of time, forwards and backwards in time. He's the flow of time. He is also portals from this world to other worlds, to interdimensional worlds. Sorry about the toys, but I got Loki being naughty. He wants to play. But he is the god of opening portals and closing portals. But also another thing is to put a screen on portals. So like if portals won't close, or you can't get it to close, there's always putting a screen where, okay, I had a problem with someone's home, that said there's a portal and there's no way I can close this. And I had to visualize a screen and put up protections. I said, you got to do this. Your home is a boundary place between this world and another world, and spirits are getting in. And some of these are not very good. So he's also screening out shit. So if you can't get that portal or that doorway closed, you can always put a screen. Or like, just think of a screen door to your home. So it's not closed, but certain things can't get in and certain things can't get out, while air can get in and stuff. But a screen to your window, a screen to your door, a screen to your drain. He's the god of wind and of the winds. So yeah, portals are also his domain, as well as physical doors. He's also going to be a door jamb and a door stopper and a lock to that door and a doorknob. He's also the key, deals with keys as well as locks. He is the key and he is the lock. He is the key to your treasure or the key to your misfortune. He is the door from this world to the other world, the doorway of birth and the doorway of death. He goes from the lower world to the upper world. He deals with all different ring past knots in the ethers, the airs of Enochian magic. He deals with pathways and mazes. And he's like a GPS, a map. He deals with all of that. He deals with finding your way when you are lost. He is that beacon. He's that signal. He can help hide you if you're doing spells with invisibility or not being noticed, or spells to help you be noticed. He deals with all that. He is the god of thought and memory. From memory of what you ate yesterday, from past life memories, from your very first life. He deals with all that. Hermes protected travelers, and he punished those who would not assist the traveler, who could not find their way. So those who are lost and those who are found. He's a God of lost and found. So if you lost something, he's a God of finding things. And he's God of hiding things. So yes, he does deal with spirits, ghosts, and the shades, and entities, and hauntings. To remove a haunting or to cause a haunting. He deals with all of that. He deals with this. He's a God of gateways. The God of signs. Literal and figurative signs. Now, some associated him with the Norse god Odin. And there are some similarities. There are, but there are many differences as well. They also said, well, Odin wears the wide brimmed hat, and so does Hermes. And he carries a staff, and so does Hermes. He also presided of games of dice, for games of chance, and they would throw it upon the olive leaf. He's also deals with astragals, which was knuckle bones, but now we use dice in place of knuckle bones. He's also the god of dealing with luck, good luck and bad luck, and no luck at all. But he is the god that can help change your luck and fortune. He deals with the wheel of fortune in the tarot. That's also another one of his domains. There's a lot of cards that are going to be dealing with him. The cards that dealing with finding treasure, the cards dealing with stealing. Ow. He also increases fertility, especially the fertility of sheep. He was worshipped by shepherds. He's also very pastoral, very rustic, especially he's a remnant of the ancient religion in Arcadia. He's a god of fertilization. He deals with the earth. He's also dealing he's the one who blesses humans. He can bless as well as curse. How long have I been talking about this guy? Gosh, it feels like only 20 minutes. It's 54 minutes. And there's so much to me. I still feel like I haven't even chipped the ice on this. He is God of all trades and master of all. You know how they say jack of all trades, the master of none, but he's a jack of all trades and master of all. He's the handyman. Did anyone see this new episode in South Park about the handyman? That no one knows how to do shit? He's the god that knows he's to fix electricity, the plumbing, how to fix the stove. He could fix the microwave. So, he's the fixer. and the breaker. Now the festivals celebrated in his honor was called the Hermea. Hermaia. Hermea. His festivals were called the Hermea. His offerings, frankincense, myrrh. Also, some of these are going to be traditional as well as modern. There were several kinds of fish that was associated with him. Sacrifices were pigs, young goats, and lambs. He loves lamb, so mutton, lamb meat. I'm not going to say go out and kill an animal, but you can give him goat meat, lambs. He also had enjoyed sacrifices of pig, so pork, cake, honey. Hey, honey cake. Incense. Dealing with the air. Again, incense deals with air, so he loves incense. Wine. Goat cheese. Sheep's cheese. But also cheese in general. But he especially loves goat cheese. I'm allergic to goat cheese. I can't eat that. I can eat goat meat, but I can't eat goat cheese. Olives. Of course, anything with olives. Anything with stuffed olive leaves is a good idea. He loves olives. Olive loaf would be good. Olive bread with olives in it. Like olive meat. Well, olive loaf is meat with olives in it. Cakes and ale. Can't go wrong with mead, fermented honey, as well as wine, which is MEAD, fermented honey. And now MEADE is wine with honey in it. So there's a difference. MEAD is fermented honey, and MEADE is wine with honey. He loves sweets. Oh my God, he's got a sweet tooth. Chocolate, canned chocolate, milk and dark chocolate, but then you have this thing called white chocolate, which is not really real chocolate, but he still likes it. He loves candy, lollipops. He'll even accept some cough drops, like the sweet ones, like the cherry stuff. He loves cakes and pies and cookies. He likes sweet cream. He likes milk. He also likes cream, like milk with honey in it. He loves that. He loves fruit. He loves fruit. Apples, oranges, star fruit. He also likes fun food. Fun food like pizza and pizza rolls. That's fun food. He likes breadsticks. He really likes that. He loves elegant stuff, elegant desserts, as well as, your Hershey bar. So you can give him some mousse and flan. But you can also give him a good old Hershey Kisses or Hershey bar. Trick or treat candy. It's time. Give him some of your trick or treat. Trick or treating. He thinks that's fun. He loves trick or treating. He likes being around kids. He likes their antics. He likes to play. He's a guy to play. So he can be honored also in playgrounds. Leaving some, don't be creepy. Just go there and leave some, candy or something. Game places like where they have betting and gambling. He's God that deals with children. So if you have a child that's being tormented by haunting, you may want to call Hermes. He's also, one of his aspects is also the divine child. So some people also associate with Ilegua and Santeria. I'm not saying they're the same being. They're not. But he is a divine child in some of his aspects. Now, some is you see him clean shaved, but there's also aspects of him as a bearded man. Now, back to what I was saying, he likes amusement parks and playgrounds and water parks and all these fun things. He loves things that go fast too, like race cars, Indy cars. So all these racing, he likes that. He likes anything to do with the gym. He's a god of gymnastics and bodybuilding and cardio. He deals with he also deals with things that I'm not gonna say that. But he deals with anything with workout. So he deals out with machines of working out, like lifting weights, boxing. He's a god of boxers. He could be your spar partner. He could be found in joke stores where you could buy, whoopee cushions and fart bombs and all this other fun stuff. So did I get off track? Yes, I did. I was talking about some of his offerings, which also could be just water. You can make it regular filtered water, spring water, or some of these elaborate waters, fancy waters. He's a god of chemistry, science, dealing with anything, bioengineering, quantum physics. So, theoretical physics, all that, biology, all this, the realm of science is his realm. He deals with schools. But his most ancient seat of worship is Arcadia. And then went to Athens, and then it spread out through Greece and, of course, the world. And in Rome, he was known as Mercury. May or may not be the exact same god. Are so close that, Oh, he also deals with cloning. Like I said, he's the multiplier. So, he's the god of processing and mass production. He deals with mass production. Let's see if we can make 1,000 of these in 10 minutes or less. He's also deals with capitalism. He's a god of dealing with capitalism. He deals with the economy. Anything. He's an economic. He's a god of economics. He's a god of studying. He's a god of learning. He's a god of understanding. He's a god of processing and understanding what you read. He's a god of reading as well as the written word. He's a god of spelling. He's just like this all-purpose god. Now his sandals, the padilla, were absolutely gorgeous. They were gold. They were golden. And they had wings. Now Homer, in his writings, didn't describe his sandals with wings. So in the Homeric hymns, it doesn't describe his sandals with wings. Just to let you know. Sometimes he holds a purse in his hands or a satchel. So in some attributes he holds a purse or pocketbook. It depends on the periods. God, he is very crafty, and he can offer a solution for every problem. 10 problems, 10 solutions, even 30 solutions to your 10 problems. So if you got a problem or you're at a crossroads and you need the decision making, Hermes is your god. He can help you making foolish decisions or wise decisions. And he can also make you the butt of his joke if he wants to. Sometimes in the Golden Ass by Apuleius describes him as a almost naked, except for like a cloak draped on his left shoulder, his blonde hair, very radiant young boy. Wings of gold were coming from the locks of his hair. He had a herald staff. He was considered very handsome. Very easy on the eyes. He's also a god of creativity, to creatively do things. To do things in such a creative way. He is a god of craftiness. He's a god of presentations like I'm doing now. I'm communicating to you. He's a god of presentations, whether doing it on the internet, on or off social media. Again, social media is under his domain now. News, fake news and real news. Magazines. Whether they're just like People magazine or the World Weekly News or the Sun, even online things like Babylon Bee, are all his. Like I said, he's the god of clowns and the comedian. He's also between times, dusk and dawn. It's neither morning or afternoon. It's neither afternoon nor evening. He's the god of midnight and 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock in the afternoon and 12 o'clock at night. He's the god of the witching hour. He's the god of the hypnotic point of when you're going to sleep. Okay, so you have stage 0, then 1, 2, 3, REM. 1, 2, 3, REM. So he's going in between 1 and 2, 2 and 3 in REM. He's also the hypnotic. So he's between each stage. But the hypnotic is definitely his, which is stage 0. So that's right when you're going to sleep, and you're drifting off. That's him. Also, when you're waking up, right when you're waking up and you're kind of still in the dream state and you looking up, maybe you see some cats on the wall or dogs with wings flying by or creepy spiders. That's his state too. He's between things. So he's in the thresholds of time and space. The cross, so when you draw a cross, he's in right in the middle. He's between the divine and the mortal. He's the tween times. God, I've been talking for over an hour and 12 minutes. Woo-wee. You see, he's the forelooker. As he can see far away. He can see things from very far away. From miles and miles. I can see miles and miles. He could see way ahead of things. He's a clear seer. He can see things. As you can see, he's very airy. He's on the clouds here. He's a very airy god. Dealing with the sky gods. And he's also chthonic, dealing with the underworld and the earth. So he's celestial and chthonic. The underworld. He's a threshold of caves. He's the entrance to mines. And he's the finder of treasure. He's the threshold where the grave is. Where you dig in the hole, right in the threshold between the land above and right below. He is the threshold at cemetery gates. He deals with cemeteries. Right at the gates, especially at the gates. And he does deal with the dead. He does deal with the conducting of souls. So, yeah, cemeteries. He deals with right between. He deals at birth. Right between, coming out of the womb. Right between birth and the portal of like living and dying. Right in the act of that. When you're leaving the body. He's a guide for the astral traveler and beyond. So physical traveling within your mind and your thoughts, and in the astral and beyond, and traveling through the ethers. He's the traveler. And he loves a good drink. He does. That's another thing. He likes alcohol. He likes alcohol. He just loves alcohol. He loves that booze. He loves that beer. He loves that IPA. You know, champagne. He likes good liquor, good booze. Some people offer him marijuana. He likes the gummies and the potato chips with or without cannabis. He loves like potato chips. Like I said, fun food, popcorn. Because it goes pop, pop, pop. Remember from the It? I like popcorn because it goes pop, pop, pop. When you think about the entrance of the sewer. Hey, Georgie, we all float down here. Okay, so that's from the It. I'm a horror fan. Anyways, he's a god of attaining information and also giving false information. So, he's the god of spies and finding information. Ooh, spying, espionage, be it for a country or for corporate espionage. Now, in no way am I telling you to steal, to rob, or to do perjury. I'm just telling you about the gods. So let's get that out of the way. Also, speaking of information and false information, I do want to thank my friend Steve. Thank you for allowing me to find, make someone think that we're enemies. That was a lot of fun. Thank you. You know who you are. That was fun. Oh, fun, the fun I had. Fun, because Hermes is a god of fun and delight. He's a god of parties and parades, and he's also dealing with processions, the jazz funeral. We're sad that you're going, but we're so happy to have known you. He's a god of dancing, clubbing. Yes, he likes that. And boy, is he a god of tricks, and did I ever play a trick on someone? Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Oh, the fun. Anyways, there's so much to learn about this god. So thank you. Thank you for watching. And I do hope you enjoy this video. And just remember, he's unpretentious. He had a lot of worship in all the temples. But anyways, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to let me know I'm doing a good job. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to everyone who watched it. Thank you to my subscribers, because you fuel me to do these presentations. You are the fuel to my presentations. And I thank you so much, because I do these for free. And maybe one day YouTube will pay me. But even if I decide to make money from my videos, they will always be free to you. I don't have a Patreon account. And if I ever did have a Patreon account, I still would do these videos out for free. Please think about going to adopting an animal, because adoption's a fool. There are animals out in the street that can use your love instead of getting that. If you want $1,000 dog, why not adopt that poor mutt in the street? You never know if you have a best friend. And for free, just some veterinary care to make sure he or she doesn't have worms, and get your animals neutered and spayed. But you can always find a friend in need. A furry friend. So save those birds, save those fish, save the animals with scales and fur. So thank you so much for watching. And as always, blessed be.